The cafe was silent. The waitress smirked. The rich customers whispered, because standing in front of them, the man they had just insulted, was Keanu Reeves. What happened next? No one expected. Keanu Reeves didn't plan on being there. It had been a long day, no security, no cameras, just a man walking through the city, lost in thought. It had been raining earlier. The streets glistened under the city lights. Cars honked impatiently at intersections. The air smelled of fresh rain, asphalt, and coffee. That's what made him stop. The small cafe on the corner had a warm glow. Through the large glass windows, Keanu saw people sipping steaming cappuccinos, eating golden croissants, and enjoying quiet conversations. It looked inviting. He hadn't eaten all day. The thought of a simple meal, a hot coffee, some peace was enough to make him walk in. But the moment he stepped inside, he felt it. The energy changed instantly. Not everyone recognized him. Number people saw his clothes first. A dark blue hoodie, jeans slightly faded from wear, sneakers that had seen better days, his hair uncombed, a little wet from the rain. And they judged. The waitress at the counter noticed too, and she didn't hide her disgust. She was in her early 30s, with sharp eyes, neatly tied back hair, and a crisp uniform. The moment she spotted him, her brows lifted. She exhaled sharply, crossed her arms, and then she said the words that changed everything. "Sir, I think you're in the wrong place." Keanu stopped walking. His eyebrows lifted slightly, but he said nothing, didn't react, didn't blink. She tapped the counter, her smirk growing. "We have a minimum order price. Are you sure you can afford it?" The moment she said it, a few customers snickered. At the table near the entrance, a businessman in a $3,000 suit smirked into his coffee. "Yeah, buddy," the man muttered. "Maybe try the diner down the street." Laughter, mocking, whispers. Phones lifted discreetly as some customers started recording, waiting for a reaction, waiting for drama. But Keanu? Keanu didn't flinch, didn't get angry, didn't even look surprised. Instead, he reached into his pocket and pulled out something that made the entire cafe go dead silent. The waitress's smirk disappeared. The businessman in the $3,000 suit froze mid-sip. Even the people recording lowered their phones, because Keanu Reeves had just placed a thick, neatly folded stack of $100 bills on the counter, and everyone saw it. The waitress blinked rapidly, her throat tightening. Keanu said nothing. He simply unfolded one bill, placed it gently on the counter, and slid it forward. "Coffee," he said. His voice was calm, steady. "Black." Silence. The entire cafe held its breath. The waitress's face turned red. She swallowed hard. The businessman in the $3,000 suit looked away, embarrassed. Keanu tapped the counter once. "I believe I can afford it." Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Keanu stood there, his face unreadable, his fingers still resting lightly on the counter. And then, someone coughed awkwardly. The waitress snapped back to reality. She grabbed the bill quickly, shoving it into the register with shaking hands. Coming right up, sir," she stammered. The businessman in the $3,000 suit picked up his phone, pretending to scroll through emails. A woman at a nearby table shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Keanu didn't say another word. He just waited. The entire cafe, just minutes ago laughing at him, judging him, was now silent. The waitress returned quickly. Too quickly. She placed the coffee cup in front of him with shaking hands. Keanu took it. Took a slow sip. Then he did something no one expected. He looked up at the waitress, held her gaze, and said, "I forgive you." A sharp gasp escaped her lips. The businessman in the $3,000 suit lowered his head. The people who had been recording slowly put their phones away. Nobody knew what to say. And then, Keanu stood up, reached into his pocket, pulled out 2 more $100 bills, and left them on the counter. "For the next person who can't afford a cup of coffee," he said softly. and without another word, he walked out, leaving behind a cafe full of people who would never forget what just happened.